Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Friday, September 18th, 2015. In the Lynn-Body-Mind we have me, Ra. In Jamie-Body-Mind we have Black Wolf and Pan, other teammates in other aspects of the physical dimension, all of us in the physical dimension and in the subatomic layers of the physical, the way our spirit world viewers are considering this to be.
That's true.
It's probably funny to everybody. I know it's funny to me how Black Wolf and I, newly arrived in the physical, these aspects of ourselves are newly arrived in the physical, and we have the immediate reaction that everyone has when arriving in the physical. We're all spiritual beings having a physical experience, those of us who are in the physical.
That's true.
Our souls have a plan for this physical life before we come in to the physical experience. We know there are going to be challenges, but we expect to win.
That's true.
Then we enter the physical. It's harder than we thought it was going to be, and we begin to play small in the game of life.
That's
and
true.
Black Wolf and I ourselves, getting here yesterday, are saying, there is no energy here. This is absolutely impossible. How can they expect us to work under these conditions? And we were at least aware enough to recognize that this is exactly what everybody has been saying, and then we get here and we see, yes, it's
true.
It's actually really true. These are impossible working conditions, quote unquote. They
That's
really
true.
do seem that way. So this has been flaring big time for our team.
That's
over
true.
the past day and a half or 2 days. Our intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to heal whatever this pattern represents.
That's true.
And heal the root causes of it in such a way as to manifest the divine plan. In other words, to trigger the awakening. The data clearly showing what's needed is to provide a collective restart right now.
That's true.
And with that, it begins. What do I know? I know that life is filled with events.
That's true.
And that we create our experience of life by how we choose to relate to those events.
That's true.
And there are things that happen in pretty much a continual stream that we can choose to use either as excuses to not live our soul plans.
That's true.
Or motivations to live our soul plans.
That's true.
And it's simply, our lives hinge on the choices that we make in every moment. It's
That's
simple,
true.
actually. And an important trick in creating a life that works in any dimension
Yes.
is to develop a habit of making good choices, choices that lead to success.
That's true.
And a success principle is to develop a habit of using the events that occur, all the events that occur, as motivations to do what it is that we are supposed to do.
Rather than as excuses to not do what we don't want to do.
Thank you.
That's true.
Rather than as excuses to do what we want to do and to not do what we don't want to do.
That's true.
To do what we're supposed to do rather than what we want to do
That's true.
is a trick. Not my will, but not anyone else's
will
either. Just divine will. Just divine will.
That's true.
What are we supposed to do? The soul plan in every moment being
That's
that
true.
which is ours to do right now,
then,
right
every
now,
moment.
right now, right now,
That's
right
true.
now. That is the soul plan.
That's true.
What's ours to do right now.
That's true.
Okay, what now?
What now? I pen, when I ask what now, can see like a light shining down into those warehouses of excuses and lies that I personally have gathered, have compiled, have built up.
All right.
That still are uncleared and messy. It's like I've come in and taken out some boxes from the bottom of the stack, and then all the other boxes fell all over the floor, and then I just left them there.
Right.
That's what it feels
It
like.
looks worse, not better.
That's true. Then when I started working on this project some days ago.
Right.
By definition, if this is a warehouse of lies, then it's full of lies.
Right.
And so there's no need to sort, just to clear them out.
Well, can the whole warehouse be hooked onto a cable?
Ooh, and just cranked up.
Yes, in its
That's
entirety.
true. That's true.
Let's tried to do it. We'll just
That's true.
do it a little bit at a time, see if we can get it moving.
That's true.
Garth, can you join us in giving this the heave-ho? Glenn, are you willing to join us in giving this the heave-ho?
Yeah.
Here we go. Betty
For
Jean, do you want to help in giving us the heave-ho? Sylvie? Lizzie? All of us. Come on. All hands on deck.
For all of us. I, Black Wolf, see that I have boxes full of excuses.
Right, but let's get this big warehouse up
All
first
the way up.
before we start heading off in other directions.
I know, I just didn't want to slip into the this is someone else's problem game.
We acknowledge that we all have excuses that we're holding on to.
That's true.
And that we can merge better and do this for us at the same time as we're helping our teammates.
That's true.
I feel something moving up.
That's true.
Now I see an inspector who's kind of walking around where the warehouse was, perhaps.
That's true.
Looking to see what's there. He's bending down and picking up things and saying, "This is strange. This doesn't belong. What is this even doing here?" Can you see that guy saying
I do
that?
see that guy. I see him kneeling down and touching the floor.
And he's tasting things.
Yeah.
He's like a detective.
Yeah.
This has something to do with the Vanovanovs, or I lose the bet.
That is true.
It's got their I see little V shapes.
Yeah, the
V.
emblem.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I can kind of tweak a little, feels like a wire, a communication wire, and I get their attention.
That's true.
Hi, friends. Listen, you're really good people. You have a lot of gifts. You have a lot that you could be doing to manifest the divine plan.
That's true.
But you have this fundamental confusion. If I were a betting person, I would say what's tripping you up is maybe some combination of what I do when I'm disguised doesn't count against me, doesn't count against my record. Or maybe I get to decide what's real. It's possible you feel that the rules don't apply to you.
That could be.
That could be. And the third category of lies Glenn is reminding me is I don't have to change in any foundational or fundamental way.
That's true.
And
that also feels relevant.
It feels as though all three of those categories of error patterns or untruths are present in your thinking.
That's true.
But here's the thing. The rules actually do apply to all of us.
That's true.
We're all beholden for our spirit world commitments, and our soul plans are a sacred vow between us and spirit, and we all have the soul plans to manifest the divine plan, trigger the awakening, and the data showing what's needed is to provide a collective restart right now. And we've seen your team meetings where you as a team definitely agree a collective restart is needed and has been needed for a really long time.
That's true.
So we know that isn't the hold-up in your thinking. Where's the disconnect? Why are you still doing so many things that seem to be holding back efforts to manifest the divine plan?
It sounds like Ulysses Vanovanov.
Mm-hmm. It does sound like Ulysses. Hi, Ulysses.
Hi, Ulysses. Sounds like
some confusion or untruth.
And it feels like old untruth. It's like he's talking about things that happened in
Ulysses,
the distant past.
Whatever you're saying isn't true.
There's confusion.
It's kind of like aristocracy, like, well, we don't have to walk in the mud. Ulysses, whatever you're saying, it's been
not
disproven so many times. That it's shocking that you would bring that up in public and not blush.
That's true.
It's as if someone, in all seriousness, stood up in a public forum, like in a presidential debate, and said something about the earth being flat.
Yes.
Ulysses, surely you jest.
He doesn't feel angry. He feels like like he really wants to grip the belief that's not true. He's
We see Luce
Yeah.
doing the same thing. He will lash his lying excuses, his untrue excuses, to his hand.
Like Butch Cassidy lashed his gun to his hand.
Yes.
That's true.
So I'll take these
To my grave,
my
and you will pry them from my cold, dead hands, is kind
Right.
of what it feels like.
That's how Ulysses feels. I'm
Yeah,
going to
it's
hold
true.
on to these lies until you pry my cold dead fingers from them.
That's true.
Well, we know people like that.
That's true, and it doesn't work out well.
It doesn't work.
That's true.
What now?
What now? How
What
may I
now?
be of service?
Well, we can be grateful to our friend Ulysses for setting such a
Such a
fine
fine
example
example.
of craziness.
That's
I
true.
don't want to be like him. Does it,
No.
like, friends, show of hands, who wants to be like Ulysses? Who can see Ulysses is really harming himself and keeping himself from being successful by refusing to let go of beliefs that have been proven to be untrue?
That's true.
Okay, now let's each of us find it in ourselves, our beliefs that we're holding on to that are untrue, that have been proven repetitively to be untrue, that we're insisting on gripping tightly. I, Ra, newly arrived Ra, definitely have some of this aristocracy fetish that Ulysses is exhibiting.
Yeah.
I felt it in myself this last couple of days, saying, well, there's a lot of work to be done here now. Who's going to do it?
That's true.
Rather than getting up and doing it myself.
I, Pan, am feeling a lot of the belief that I've been working with this week about humanoid presences
Mm-hmm.
versus the rest of what I consider to be like true nature realms, pure nature realms, in quotes.
Pure nature realms,
Yeah.
yes.
This week I've been working with messages of how humanoids are definitely flawed, but not actually in a different way than the rest of the nature realms.
Mm-hmm.
Not actually, fundamentally different.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of my excuses that I've built around humanoids being the big problem, and if I could just kind of like wipe them out,
Mm-hmm.
then it would be okay. Everything would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And all the problems would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the nature realms would rise again.
Mm-hmm. It's as crazy as the things that the humanoids say when they say that they're different than the rest of the natural world.
That's true.
There isn't any difference.
It's actually not based on reality at all.
No, that line between humanoids and the rest of the natural world
Doesn't
is
actually
a fantasy.
exist.
It's just
That's
a
true.
shadow of our own projections of what we want to clutch to right then.
What this is an opportunity for me to really look at myself, because I can start to see a lot of errors that I made hiding behind that excuse.
Yes.
That humanoids are the problem, and so it's okay for me to do really bad stuff because I'm not the problem, the humanoids are the problem, and I'm doing this for the good of the nature realms, quote unquote. This is all
Right.
part of the lie.
The end justifies
It's
the means.
And so making great big huge errors and feeling just as justified as Ulysses feels.
Oh, yes. Every bit is justified.
Every
it's
bit
the same
is right.
feeling.
Yeah, it's
that
that
same
feeling of, well,
vibration.
I'm right.
And therefore this is okay.
And therefore this is good.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is the
Past-
right thing to do.
Yes, I must do it.
This is
after
my
all.
holy crusade.
Yeah.
This is my holy crusade against the bad people.
And who are the bad people?
The humanoids.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. That's true. Which is totally crazy, because there isn't a line between humanoid presences and the rest of the nature realms, and I, of all people, should know that because I created it.
Right,
And I'm responsible for it, ultimately and in practice.
right. You were part of the process of creating it.
That's true. What that is an opportunity for me to reevaluate a whole lot of actions that I've taken, and actions that I've not taken.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah. And it's possible there are even more actions not taken.
Feels like that.
Yeah, it does when I actually look at it. What's coming up is really gross.
Go ahead.
And now I can feel myself casting about IPAN. Like, who am I going to blame? If I can't blame the humanoids, and I definitely don't want to blame me, because that would be really inconvenient. Who am I going to blame for the failures?
Well, failures are just mistakes. Nobody cares about mistakes. What matters is that we acknowledge them as soon as we become aware of them and make it right. Make it right.
That's true.
Oh well, made some mistakes there, did you, friend?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
That's true.
Now, what do you intend to do about it?
I'm going to have to correct these errors. When the concepts get sticky, we can grab it and pull it out. A lot of what's clearing is just feels like mean-spirited, like squashing a bug feelings, but not bugs towards humanoids.
Yeah.
And for no good reason.
Revenge.
No, yeah,
For revenge. For revenge. Out of feelings of hurt and helplessness to solve the bigger problem.
Yeah.
It's easier to strike back than it is to get people, sentient presences, to awaken.
That's true.
And now we discover, gracious sakes, it's good and stuck. It's stuck as stuck as stuck can be.
That's
People
true.
of sentient presences of all dimensions don't want to wake up. They don't want to face the truth.
That's true.
Hence the need for a collective restart. And we see how spirit world presences feel that they are dying when they go into the physical.
That's
every
true.
bit as much as physical presences feel that they are dying when they go into the non-physical.
That's true.
The sensations are identical of, well, I'm dying. All right.
That's true.
We don't like to leave our dimension of origin.
That's true.
But multidimensional living is the assignment.
That's true.
That's what works. One up, one down, to cycle back and forth across the barriers until the barriers are no more, to end segregation.
That's true.